The learning process. 7. Tools for Phase 3, the report. In this phase, and based on the results of Phase 2, the facilitation team develops a learning process report that includes the answers to the guiding questions, recommendations, lessons learned, and any other reflection that contributes to the achievement of the learning process's expected results. This report includes, in an annex, a description of the methodology and tools used, as well as a transcript of the interviews and group exercises conducted. Once the report has been delivered, it is reviewed, discussed, and validated with the key actors, until there is a version in which all the parties involved consider that the expectations for the learning process have been met. Lessons learned. The chapter on lessons learned is a key component of the learning process report. The lessons learned are the most valued outcome of the whole learning process under the approach that we are promoting. Gathering and sharing them is an art that is developed through practice. Here are some key aspects of lessons learned. 1. Lessons learned are different from recommendations. Behind each recommendation, there is always a valuable lesson learned. While the recommendation is a valuable reflection and can be used by others, if the lesson learnt that gives rise to the recommendation is made explicit, the recipient can benefit more because they will understand what to avoid or what to encourage by embracing the recommendation given in a specific context. 2. The lessons learned should be formulated as universal statements, meaning issues that when communicated resonate in a general way with the audience, rather than one calling for attention to a specific experience. 3. Stating the lessons learned in a structured manner encourages their ownership and future application. With this in mind, we have found it useful to write the lessons learned in paragraphs that have at least 3 parts. A title, which synthesises the essence of what was learnt, a brief explanation of what was learnt, and an anecdote, or the reference to the specific experience that gave rise to the lesson learned. Let's look at an example. Title. In capacity building processes, the best outcomes don't always result from training programs with many participants. Explanation. Strengthening an individual's capacity, if he or she is the cornerstone of a process or its sustainability, can have greater outcomes than the program with a group of people. No effort should be spared in building this individual capacity. Anecdote. The lesson learnt resulted from a policy advocacy process in the Andean Amazon foothills in Colombia. The local government's approval of a law that included guidelines for climate change adaptation and mitigation in territorial management instruments of certain municipalities was needed. The team decided to focus their training efforts on those people promoting said law. At the end of the process, these people were not only knowledgeable in different aspects of climate change, understanding them very well, because instead of a theoretical training process, the process related directly to their territories. They could also explain them to their colleagues and convince them to approve municipal laws. In the next video, we will focus on Phase 4 of the learning process and its tool for communication and ownership of the lessons learned.